everyone, Tammy here, your local yoga teacher. I wanted to quickly come on and do a little video about posture. I'm sure during this time lots of us are working from home, maybe lots of us are using laptops for 6-7 hours, maybe even longer. Also, being stressed is going to affect your muscles, it's going to tighten them, it's going to drag them down, which can often lead to bad posture. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you today and give you a couple of exercises that you could do after your day's work to try and get rid of all that tightness and then start again the next day. So the first thing is your position of your laptop if you are using a laptop. Now obviously the design of a laptop means that the monitor and the keyboard are connected, which in itself is the worst thing that we can do for our body. So you're either going to be having the laptop on the lap and having the keyboard quite low, or you're going to be having the keyboard and the monitor high for the level of the eye, and then it means that the wrists are being compromised. So if you have got a laptop and a spare keyboard, either a wireless or a plug-in one, I would definitely recommend that. I would always look to have the laptop or the monitor part of the laptop in line with your eye level, so that when you're looking at your computer, you don't need to look down and you don't need to look up. That is exactly where it should be, in line with the eyes. Now obviously that means that then the keyboard part is high, so if you have got a keyboard, a separate keyboard, I would then have that plugged in and have that at arm length. So you want it to be elbow, wrist and fingers all stay in alignment. So if I turn it to the side, it needs to kind of look like that. If you've got a keyboard mouse or a mat, sometimes it can start to lift the wrist up, which isn't good. And if you've got it too low, that where you're having to turn the fingers up, that also isn't good for the wrist. So ideally you want to have the elbow and shoulder in line, you want to have the elbow and wrist in line, support the wrist with a pad or something, and then when you're typing, you're not having to do this or this. So it keeps the wrist at this nice, straight posture. So you're almost like this when you're sitting at the desk. Now if you have a gym ball, I would recommend getting a gym ball wherever it is and using that to sit on. So let me just grab mine. So if you are working from home, I'd sit on your gym ball, make sure that your laptop is at the right angle, monitor is at the right angle, and this is kind of the best posture that you could do for yourself during your working day. Now the beauty of a gym ball is if I start to slouch, it's going to start to want to roll away, so you want to be able to sit up straight, and the only way you can do that is by engaging the stomach muscles, and it does help to have the feet slightly out so that you're allowing the pelvis to slightly tilt, which keeps the spine long. Now if you don't have a gym ball, which I understand a lot of you might not, then rather than sit that way on a chair, I know this is quite a small chair, but I would recommend sitting this way and then doing your work in this way. And the reason why you sit with the back of the chair in front of you is it encourages you to have the legs wider, but also encourages you to tilt the hips forward. So this will also, by having a slight tilt in the pelvis, keep the spine long. So again, it kind of avoids this posture. Obviously it can still happen, so you need to be aware of that, but I would definitely recommend those couple of tips for your seated posture if you are working on a computer, laptop, whatever. So a couple of exercises to do after your day's work is definitely bringing the hands together. You want to lengthen the arms long and then take them away, and what that does is it stretches the pectoral muscles, so it avoids this kind of rounding through. So this is a great one to do afterwards, and you can always lean into the chair and do it while you're working. Bring the hands behind you, take them away. I would also recommend kind of grabbing the elbows and stretching through the shoulders, and then you can do the opposite, bring them in front, round through, push it away. So they're going to be good for the shoulders. Warm the wrists up in the morning if you're doing a lot of typing, so that's going to definitely help. Definitely moving the fingers. We don't want to get RSI or you don't want to get arthritis, so by moving the fingers and the hands is going to help. The hips, okay, if you sit down all day, they're not going to like it. So you bring yourself into a kind of a lunge position and then walk that front leg forward. So as you can see, my knee is still in line, my ankle, but my back knee and hip are not in line. And what I'm doing is I'm stretching this left hip flexor, so this one here at the back. And if you can bring the hands to the floor and then work that leg further away to get deeper into that hip flexor. This is the kind of pose that you would do to counteract sitting down all day. Bring yourself back and then stretch the hamstrings. So you've got this nice stretch through the hamstrings. Bring that leg in, do the opposite. So walk the foot forward, make sure that the front leg, knee and ankle are in line. You can always slide that back one further away. Again, stretching into the hip flexor this side, and then to come out of it, now stretch this back leg so you're stretching the hamstrings. That will definitely work on stretching the legs, stretching the pectoral muscles at the front. And for the spine, I would always recommend 4 movements on a daily basis. You want to do some kind of a twist. You can do all of this thing, it's that simple. You can even do it in your chair while you're working. Side bends. You want to stretch out the side, use your oblique muscles. So it could be something really easy, like just doing a couple of side bends like this. Forward folding, so rounding through, and then doing the opposite. Round through, lean forward if you want to, come back, lean backwards, squeeze. So these are really easy poses to do, and what that does is it moves the spine in all 4 planes. Side bending, twisting, forward folding and backward bending. So these tiny little exercises that you can do on a daily basis is definitely going to help you keep your posture nice and strong and keep yourself as healthy as you can. We're all stressed. When we get stressed, it tightens all the muscles, and the muscles get tight in the torso, and what they do is they drag down. They become heavy and tight and they drag down, which affects our breathing. So please remember to breathe properly. If you want breathing technique, find my old video where we're doing the square breathing, breathing in for 4, holding the breath for 4 if you're not pregnant, breathing out for 4, and then holding the breath out for 4. It's a really simple breathing technique. Once you've got that breathing technique down to a T, then lengthen it. Breathe in for 6, hold, breathe out, hold for 6, then maybe 8. The more you can do that, it's going to not only strengthen the lungs, but it's going to start to move the muscles that are needed for deeper breathing, but also for keeping your core strong. So your diaphragm will start to move up and down how it should be properly. Your intercostal muscles will expand more. Your lungs will get stronger because you're holding the breath in, you're holding the breath out. You're taking deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So all of these exercises are going to help keep you nice and strong and healthy. And if anyone's suffering from anything in particular, please tag me. And I'm still in the group. I've just been really busy doing my own online membership. So please keep yourself active, keep yourself moving. Remember, if you're working from home, try and set your laptop up so that you've got the screen and the keyboard separate. I know for some of you that might not be an option. So it would almost maybe be better to do like move it from one height to another so that you're not doing it all in one big stint for a long time, either like looking down or up or then with the hands. So I hope this has helped. Quick short video. Take care everyone and stay safe and well. Bye bye.